And we're back with some sample problems of where's the vertex. So if I want to get x on this picture, it's an angle measure, I ask myself, where's the vertex? It's in the circle. When it's in the circle, we proved that we want to take the arc and the vertical angles arc and average them together. Now this arc, it doesn't tell me what it is. However, since there's a diameter, I know that's a semicircle, so 180 minus 30 is 150. So now I can get x. X is going to be its arc plus the vertical angles arc divided by 2. So that's going to be 130. X is 130, or the angle is 130 degrees. Try another one over here. Should I move the paper up? No. So if I want to get this x degree angle, I don't know the arc, I don't know the vertical angles arc, I don't have any diameters that cut the circle in half. But we can be a little sneaky, we can get this angle. Remember that strategy, if you're stuck on a math problem, forget about the question and do something else. Okay, can I figure this out? Yes, where's the vertex? In the circle. So I take the arc, and I take the vertical angles arc, and I average them. So if I call this y, y is going to be 50 plus 170 over 2, so that's 110. So if this angle is 110 degrees and x is a linear pair with it, x must be 70. Let's go down to the bottom here. Now x is an arc measure. I know what its angle is. Its vertical angles here, it's 108. And since the vertex of that angle is in the circle, I want to use the same relationship that this angle measure comes from its arc plus the vertical angles arc divided by 2. So if we can go back up to the previous problem, it's the same relationship, a value equal to the sum of two numbers divided by 2. Same thing, the only difference is the variable now is one of the arcs that we don't know. So to solve this equation, if I cross multiply both sides by 2, I get 216 equals x plus 119. Right, I'm just cross multiplying there. So if I subtract 119 from both sides, x is 97. Let's try a few more. I want to get the measure of angle 1. I ask myself, where's the vertex? It is outside the circle. When it's outside the circle, we want to subtract the arcs and divide by 2. I don't know this arc, but we can figure it out. 100 plus 40 plus 90 is 230 degrees. That means there's 130 degrees left over for that arc. So now I can say the measure of angle 1 with the vertex on the outside is going to be the bigger arc minus the smaller arc divided by 2. So I guess that's 45 degrees. Try this one here. Angle 2, outside the circle. So again, I want to subtract the arcs that are in that angle and divide by 2. Thanks to this diameter, I know that if that's 70, this arc is 110. So the measure of angle 2 is going to be the big arc minus the small arc divided by 2. I guess that's 20 degrees. 20 degree angle. Down here, I've got two tangents meeting on the outside. When they meet on the outside, it's big arc minus small arc divided by 2. If this is 100 degrees, then this arc, which is inside the angle, the rest of the circle would be 260 degrees, subtracting from 360. So x is going to be the big arc minus the small arc divided by 2. I think that's 80. So it's an 80 degree angle. Let's see. Got two more to show you and then we'll stop. So this is a little more challenging, this top one here. I want to know what x is, which is this arc, but it doesn't tell me what this arc is. I'm going to use two different colors here. So I don't have an expression for that red arc. I do know The black arc is x degrees. You may want to pause the video for a second for yourself, see if you can figure out what equation we could write that would allow us to solve for x. So go ahead and hit pause if you're interested. I hope you are. So here we are. If this was 200 degrees, you would all know this was 160. 360 minus this one gives us that one. So that's what we can write for this arc. This arc is 360 minus this one. So our equation is the angle on the outside is going to be the big arc of x minus the smaller arc divided by 2. Notice my parentheses because I want to subtract that entire number, so I need parentheses around there. I'm going to cross multiply. 50 times 2 is 100. And 1 times this numerator is that numerator. I'm going to distribute this -1 though, so the numerator actually becomes x minus 360, and -1 times -x is plus x. So it looks like 100 equals 2x minus 360. So 460 is 2x, so I guess x is 230. And you could go ahead and check. If this is 230 degrees, then this rest of the circle would be, I guess, 130 degrees. 230 minus 130 divided by 2 is in fact 50. So I know I did that quickly, but you have a rewind button and a pause button. Last one. The only difference here, other than I changed the number of the angle measure, is now I made x the inside arc. So now we know that this arc, which is the rest of the circle, would be 360 minus that x. So the difference is when you write out this equation, the angle equals the bigger arc, which in this case is 360 minus x, minus the smaller arc divided by 2. Cross multiply. 120 equals 360 minus x, because remember this is just over 1 when we cross multiply. So 120 equals 360 minus 2x. I'm sure you could all go through this algebra. Looks to me like x comes out to be 120. So that's a 120 degree arc. The assignment will have a lot of problems similar to those. It should be helpful. Good luck.